Are you going to get questions? Are you going to get objections? Yes or no? If they don't join, you just keep the conversation going. You're going to get objections. What are the objections you're going to get? Let me list them for you. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. It's not my thing. I don't know anybody. I don't want to bother my friends. Not right now. All this stuff, right? Too busy. Let me break them down for you. People either have a limiting belief about themselves or they have a limiting belief about network marketing. It's a scam. Limiting belief about network marketing. It's a pyramid scheme. Limiting belief about network marketing. One of those things. Limiting belief about network marketing. I don't want to sell. Limiting belief about themselves. See what I mean? It's just really one of those two. One of those two. Pardon me, throat. And I will tell you, I went through 3 stages when it came to objections in my network marketing career. Stage 1 is I agreed with everybody and I ran away. They say I don't have the time. Oh, if you don't have the time, you can't do this. Bye. And I'd run away. They'd say I don't have the money. Oh, if you don't have the money, you can't do it. Okay, I'd run away. This is a pyramid. I don't like pyramids. Okay, you don't like pyramids. I can run away. Phase 2 is I learned things about what we do and I argued with people. So I would just argue with them and tell them that they were wrong and that I was right. And you can guess how that worked out. And then I finally learned how to be professional with it. And I'm going to give you a 4-step process to overcoming any objection. And listen, I'm kind of going quickly here through here because I want you to get the concept. Most of recruiting 20 people in 30 days is a decision. It's not a tactic. It's just deciding I'm going to do it. I'm not going to be stopped. Nobody's getting in my way. I don't care what anybody says. I'm just doing it. That's the truth. Now, I'm giving a bunch of things here, whether it's the 6 questions for closing, or I'm going to give you 4 steps for a 4-step formula for overcoming objections. But if you're really serious about becoming a network marketing professional and being able to do this on demand anytime you want, at the end of this presentation today, I'm going to give you access to something that we have not done before, where you're going to be able to have access to basically everything I've ever trained for a tiny, tiny price. I don't know if that interests you. If that interests you, put a 1 in the chat, but for a very small price, you can have access to virtually everything I've ever trained, where you can do it at your own pace. But in the meantime, people either have questions about themselves or they have questions about limiting belief about themselves or the limiting belief about network marketing. And step 1 for me is I would agree with them and run away. Step 2 is I would argue with them. And step 3 is I finally learned how to educate them. And I finally learned that an objection is actually a gift. It's the best thing that could happen. If you do a presentation and you don't get an objection, it's actually worse than if you get an objection. Truly. The objection is an unbelievable gift. So when you're faced with an objection, let's say a person says, I don't have the time. 4 steps to objections. This simple formula. Step 1, listen to them with respect. Instead of arguing with them, instead of running away, just listen and just try and really understand what they're saying. Are they saying they literally don't have the money? They're saying they can't justify this over a different purchase? Are they saying that you haven't shown them enough to justify the money? What are they really saying? What's the real issue here? Are they saying they don't have the money, but really they're worried about network marketing and maybe they tried it before and it didn't work? Find out what they're really saying. Number 2, relate. Relate to them. And I'm going to go through all 4 and then I'll role play a few of them. Listen with respect. Relate. Number 2, tell them a story, yours or others, and then ask them a question, if I would you. Take a picture of this screen. Okay? And then let me role play with you on any objection. Doesn't matter. Let's say it's time. People say they don't have the time. Listen to them. And let's assume that I've listened and I've realized that they're overwhelmed on the time. I'll get to the money one. And then I'm going to relate to them. You know what? When I first took a look at this, I didn't think I had the time either. Who has time today? Between family and relationships and health and fitness and work and taking care of the house and all the different things being pulled at us in 1,000 different directions, who has extra time? Unless you're retired, who has extra time to be able to figure out how you're going to do something else? When I looked at this, just the idea of adding more time stressed me out. And what am I saying when I'm relating to them? I'm like you. We're the same. Okay? I didn't think I had the time either. And then tell them a story. And if it can be your story, it's better. But you could tell somebody else's story as well. Tell them a story. The story can be, I didn't think I had the time either. But when I really looked at my life at this age, I realized that if I didn't have time now, I was never going to have time. With the plan that I had, I was never going to have time. I was always going to be behind the eight ball. I was always going to be stressed out. I was always going to be looking for more freedom than I could possibly get. So I realized for me that for things to change, I had to change. I had to be willing to look at things differently. And you know what I did? I examined my life and I learned to say no to some things that weren't serving me. And I said yes to a business that would help me buy my time back. And that's exactly what I was able to do. I was able to buy my time back. So let me ask you a question. If I could show you how I figured out a way to buy my time back, how I learned how to manage this in a really frantic and busy life, if I could show you how I did it and maybe how you could do it, would you at least be willing to take a look at it? Could I share it with you? What are they going to say? They're going to say, sure. Same thing with money. They say, listen, I just don't have the money right now. It's $500. I just don't have the money. Listen, I totally understand being stressed out, having too much month at the end of the money. I get it. I don't care how much anybody makes. At the end of the month, you only have a little bit. And that's your lifestyle. That's your fun. That's the stuff that you get to do. That's the quality of your vacations. That's all that little thing is kind of really what your life is. Everything else is just obligations. I get it. I totally understand. I thought the same thing too. I didn't have enough money to be able to throw extra money towards something when I still had money stressed in different directions. I had student loans over here and I got this over there. I got credit card bills over here. I got all of these different things. And now you're talking about an extra $500? I just didn't see it. But when I really looked at it, I realized not having $500, if I was going to let that stop me from a business that might be able to give me freedom, then I was never, ever going to be able to break free of the situation that I was in. Because what's going to change if I didn't change? If I didn't find a better option? So you know what I did? I got creative on the money. I found some stuff I could sell. I found some things I could do on the side in order to be able to raise a little extra money. And you know what I did with that money? Instead of just spending it, sending it down the black hole, I invested in it in a business that was going to serve me long term. And then I put my sweat equity on top of that money in order to turn it into a real business. So if I could show you how to find the money, how to figure it out, how to get a return of that money quickly, and how to turn it into a business, even with a busy lifestyle, if I could show you how to do that, would you at least be willing to take the next step with me and explore it? Because if it's not this, then what? Then what? What's your plan? If it's not this plan, then what? What are you going to do? What's going to knock on your door and tell you, and offer you up some incredible opportunity? I decided I was done waiting for somebody to knock on my door. And I was going to be open to an opportunity when it showed up. And that's what I did. And I can show you how I did it. I went in my garage. I found something I wasn't using. I sold that thing and I started a business. I went in my basement, found something that I wasn't using, hadn't looked at for forever, and I sold it. And I started a business. I got in my car and I drove Uber for 2 weeks. I saved all those dollars and I invested into a business instead of having to keep driving that car. You can too. Let's sit down and map out 10 different ways that you could be able to make the money happen in order to be able to create a new business. If you believe in it. If I could show you how to do that, you're willing to at least explore the options, or you're just going to keep crossing your fingers and hoping for the best, that what you've been doing up until now is going to just somehow magically change. If you don't change something, is the next 10 years likely to be the same as the last 10? It's likely to be the same. We have options available to us. We just have to take advantage of those options. Okay? So, and I'm here to help. Whatever that happens to be, whether it's Uber, Uber Eats, or anything, selling something on Amazon, doesn't matter. What matters is we have to take charge. We can't hope that our boss all of a sudden becomes generous. We can't hope that the government all of a sudden starts offering up free money. We just can't hope for all these different things. We got to take charge of our own lives. This is an option. And you know what I would tell people all the time? Listen to me when I'm saying this. What I would ask all of you to do is encourage everybody you know to start a business, whether it's yours or not. Let me say that again. Every person you know, you need to encourage them to start a business, whether it's your business or not. If yours is not a fit, help them find something that is a fit. Tell them to keep searching. This is one that they can cross off. Maybe they don't like it. Fine. Find something that you do like. Big part of your job is to be an advocate for entrepreneurialism. Yours might be an option, it might not, but be the biggest cheerleader for entrepreneurialism, solopreneurism than anybody you know. Be that person to say, hey, that people will bounce ideas off of you because you're the ones looking at things all the time. It's not your passion? Fine. If it's not your passion, find something that is your passion. This doesn't have to be your passion. Go find something that is your passion. Let me tell you what I'm going to look at when I'm looking at a business. Is there a need for the product? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, does the product meet the need? Third question, is it priced to sell? In other words, is it competitively priced? And fourth, is it priced for profit? Is there enough margin for the company and for me to make money marketing this product? If I can get an answer to those four questions, a yes to those four, I don't care what it is, so long as it doesn't go against my integrity. Those four are yes, I'm in. I'll give it a try. And guess what's great about network marketing? You can try. You can try out entrepreneurship for a tiny little amount of risk. And if it doesn't work out, you're still going to learn something. You don't have to invest the average in the United States of $55,000 in order to be able to start a business. You can try for less than $1,000 and see if you got the chops. See if you got the emotional guts. See if you have the fortitude. See if you have the focus. Give it a try. What do you got to lose? $1,000 maximum? Repeat the four questions. Here's all I'm looking for in a product. Is there a need? Does it meet the need? Is it priced to sell? Is it priced for profit? That's it. If it's yes, 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 and yes, let's go. Let's give it a shot. Okay? So, if somebody says it's a pyramid, I thought so too. And then I did my homework. I realized this is not your grandma and grandpa's Amway. This is a marketing channel. This is a way for companies to get good products and services to consumers, educating the consumer, demonstrating a product, educating people about a product that they did not know about, using word of mouth advertising. It does $200 billion a year in sales. I did not know that. It pays out $200 million in commissions every single day to people like you and me. I did not know that. So I understand why why people think of it as a get rich quick, because a lot of people call it get rich quick. It's not. It's hard work, just like any entrepreneurial endeavor is hard. It's going to be hard, for sure. But let me tell you what's really hard. Working in a job that doesn't appreciate you, underpays you. You have to work with people you don't like, doing things that you don't like, compromising yourselves constantly, and not being in charge of your own life. That's what that life looks like. This life, at least you're in charge. You know what I mean? You might need to be a tougher boss, but at least you're in charge. So, preparation, quantity, getting into more conversations, presentation, tell your story, do the thing, ask the questions. The 6 questions we talked about, 6 questions, and the 6-question close. Questions and objections, They're your friend. They're there for you. Listen, relate, tell the story, ask the question, if I would you.